Did family travel arrangements. I secured places for people to stay. I handled all the arrangements. I even did the police investigation. I located my brother's wife so that we could go forward with cremation. I handled the memorial service. I did all the things that one would need to do if you planned this stuff to occur in one's life. But here was my brother, 6'4", and about 245, a towering person laying on this slab in a mortuary, cold as could be. My heart was torn open. What did I do? What was I to do? How was I going to ease the pain of my mother, my brother, my nephews, my niece, myself? I did the best I could do. I found myself very tearful and very pissed off, to be quite honest. Very angry at the person that I became to know as Valdez for taking the life of my brother, this towering mountain of a man who would hurt no one. I didn't understand why, and I didn't need to know why. I only knew that here was Danny, no longer able to wrap his arms around me, no longer to speak the words, "I love you, sis." Time went by, and we had to endure the trial. To listen to Valdez's mother say, "Your Honor, my son is not a murderer." Yet I knew my brother was now dead. How does that work? I don't get it. Your son's not a murderer, my brother's not alive. It's very clear the results of this murder was my brother is dead. While I sat there, numb, many days, I had an opportunity on the day of court, and I wanted to pounce on this man, known to me as Valdez. I had an opportunity to trip him as he tumbled up the stairway to the courtroom. I had an opportunity to have someone take him out. And yet I knew that would make me no better than he. I knew in my heart that's not who I was. There were many days where I wanted ill to come to Valdez. Many days where I was frustrated and I felt broken and I didn't know what to do. I wanted so desperately for him to know my pain and the pain of my mother, my brother, my niece, my nephew, the pain of Danny's friends. I wanted Valdez to know the life he cut short meant something. As the trial came to a conclusion, the killer of my brother, the sentence was reduced to third-degree manslaughter instead of first-degree murder. Because after all, it was an election year. And the district attorney was ready to settle because he'd rather have some sort of victory than a defeat. It seemed somewhat unfair that this man would get 21 years. It's called criminal justice for a reason. The criminal gets the justice. Why we, the family members of the victim, get pain and suffering for a lifetime. Now for me, the healing began. I went home frustrated, angry, hurt, and in pain. I had tried to ease the pain of my mother, my brother, Michael, his family. I immersed myself into therapy. God knows why. A lot of money. didn't know what to do. Finally I said, well, I guess I gotta go to church. I found this thing called Science of Mind. I'll try that. I did prayer work, treatment, visioning. I found myself getting involved in classes, and I went to a class called Foundation. And it was in this Foundation class that I continued to get angry and frustrated, very frustrated. Danny's death seemed to rule my life, and I needed to find a way out. And those of you that have taken Foundation class, there's a Saturday workshop. And I had vowed not to go to my Saturday workshop because I was pissed off that somebody in my class whose name was Danny, who was pushing my buttons. And there are no accidents. On the Saturday of my Foundation class, at 3:24 in the morning, I was awakened by my brother standing at my bedside. My brother Danny, who was no longer of this world. He was standing there with an aura about him that was in absolute happiness and joy. He had a look about him that I had never ever witnessed before. He was joy-filled. He was telling me how happy he was, how at peace he was. He was describing to me the colors of the rainbow. He was describing the blades of grass that he was walking upon, having dew upon them. It flipped a switch in my heart. And as I was sitting up in my bed, not sure how to react, my dogs at the time, Elway and Aikman, sat up on the bed with me. Like we were seeing my brother standing there at my bedside. He was standing there telling me he was okay. I was in shock. When he departed, I was like, well, you fill in the blank. I would say, what the heck, but there was another word I wanted to use. He was telling me all is well where he is. And all needed to be well where I am. Having this experience of Danny, seeing his brilliance and his positive energy allowed me to have a new beginning. That was my journey toward forgiveness. I went to my Saturday workshop. Go figure. And I walked into my Saturday workshop. And I don't know if they still do it on that Foundation Saturday. The very first thing that happened in that workshop, the minister took us into a meditation. And in that meditation, there was described the rainbow and the colors of the rainbow and the blades of the grass beneath the feet. And I lost it all over again. And the person that I was pissed off at in that class, his name was Danny. We healed that day. That was my road to beginning my recovery. I no longer wish to bring ill to the person I now know as Rick. I know that my brother is well where he is. And I know him coming to me that day was his way to tell me I need to work on forgiveness. And his death no longer rules my life. And I'm grateful. Thank you.
See why all these stories are important.